Hello and welcome to the Friendship News Hour, presented to you by Bummer Dude Media. Today is December the 22nd, 2021. My name is Frank. His name is Alex, and we have our resident Marvel Comic Universe expert and overall Tom Holland fanboy, Michael Lopez.
Can I get a fucking oh yeah?
So there's a specific purpose to this episode, and the reason that we're recording at 10 o'clock in the evening on a school night. And that's because we've all seen the new Spider-Man No Way Home movie. And we're here to talk about it.
Woo! Wow. You feel the energy, baby! Woo!
Oh, hilarious. Wow. What a movie. Hey, what a movie.
I went and saw it for the first time last night. It was Michael's second time.
It should have been a third.
We got done with the movie, and I'm walking out. He was there with his mom and his brother and his girlfriend. And they tell me that Michael was the only guy that was making noises in the theater. I wasn't sitting next to Michael, so I didn't know where he was at. And he was the only one that was cheering and whooping.
Here's the thing.
Somebody would be introduced. Yeah, you hear it from the back.
Bro, there's movies and there's cinemas, right? And there's a big difference between either or. So, like, when you go, I don't know if you have the Lot in Chicago. You might have the Lot.
No?
Or do you have, like, they probably don't have Sinopolis, but do you have, like, high-end movie theaters with, like, recliners and shit?
For sure, yeah. We have Regal and AMC.
We have that too, but we have, like, a little bit of step above in the city, and it's a little bit more high-end. I'm just saying, bro, it's for the rich folks, like, you know? Maybe, you know, they allow us brown people to intervene. It's kind of nice.
It's a luxurious experience.
But you have a waiter and everything. It's super cool. But for like watching like movies that are going to be super hyped, it's not the right environment at all. And I honestly, I always tell Pal, I don't like watching midnight showings at the Lot at all, even though it's convenient and it's a good place to watch a movie. So AMC, when the first day I watched it, everybody was going crazy. There's damn near dudes doing backflips off their fucking chairs, just seeing, like, you know, the movie and entails. And then I'm at the Lot, and everybody's just, like, dead silent. There's a couple next to me having a conversation. I'm like, motherfucker, Tobey Maguire just came on the fucking screen for the first time in Spider-Man in 19 years, or in 15 years, and you're fucking have a conversation about how good the fucking, you know, the burger is? Like, what are we doing here, guys?
Yeah,
what are we doing?
That's the worst in a movie, dude, is when someone's talking next to you, because, like, you're gonna say something, but, like, you feel like they make you feel like a dick for saying something, even though they're being the asshole.
Dude, yeah, and I'm like, dude, just have sex. Just, you know, get head in the car. You know, you're here for a reason. We get it, but, like, you don't have to ruin my night for it. You know,
that's pretty. So you're in your car and they bring you food?
No, we're actually in the movie theater. No, they have a waiter and everything. Yeah, there's no drive-in. That doesn't exist anymore.
Drive-in with a Sonic. That's a genius idea right there.
We should plan it.
Drive-in with the Sonic.
We should plan it. You know, they have to roller skate and they don't get really good health insurance. I find that not a great business.
I thought the roller skates were optional.
No, it's a mandatory thing.
You think so?
Yeah.
I feel like I would have to. I feel like they would make them sign a waiver, but, like, you're not going to hold me harmless for shit. You strapped on those skates, not me.
Bro, I think that's, like, part of the thing is, like, if you work here, you got to strap on them skates, son.
It's just a clause. If you get hurt, it's lifetime Slurpees for free.
Yeah,
that's the condition.
I believe it's slushy is the correct term.
It's the old give and take. So what did you think of it the second time? Were you more pleased with it after you saw it more than once?
So I'm not gonna lie, the crowd effect was super lame. It didn't kill my vibe, but it was just really unfortunate because I felt like I had a different experience the first time than these fucks who were.
Well, hold on. That seems a little unfair to people that went to see the movie, like myself, who are just rational adults who are going to see a movie in a theater.
Nobody's going to see it as a rational adult. That movie in particular.
I did.
No, you went to go see it because Tobey Maguire came back as Spider-Man.
That has absolutely nothing to do with it. You know why I wanted to go see it? Legit, the reason I went to go see it is because Al told me you wanted to record this episode, so I was like, all right, I'll go see it.
Dude, when I said that, I'm like, he doesn't give a fuck. He hates superheroes. Then you're like, okay, yeah, I'll go see it tonight. I was like, what? Frank?
I'm Switzerland on this issue. I'm just here to mediate. You can think of me as a very large electrical appliance, and I'm the ground wire. I'm here to keep everybody on Earth.
More like the neutral wire. All right.
And make sure we don't get too hard ahead of ourselves. Because, like I said, I have no skin in the game. I thought, for whatever it's worth, I thought it was an average movie. I'm not here to throw a wet towel on you.
So let's get into it, Al.
Let's go. I'm fucking ready. Let's go.
How'd you like it?
I fucking dude, top 5 superhero movie of all time to me, I think.
I think so too.
Whoa.
And it was so fucking awesome to go to a theater and wait in line for a ticket.
Dude, right?
Have to wait for concessions.
Right.
You're sitting next to people while packed, dude. There's nothing like a packed theater. It felt amazing. I loved it.
It's nothing like a packed theater on opening night, and it's nothing like a comic book or like a sci-fi packed theater. Whether it's like the Star Wars packed theater or something that's like landing, that's like monumental.
People give a fuck.
Like, yeah, like even if like a new Harry Potter came out or a new Lord of the Rings came out or something like that, like people give a fuck. There's like different pockets, and I would like to think, as long as people pay attention to the different Spider-Mans that are in this movie, but like everybody has their favorite Spider-Man or their favorite Spider-Man movie. It's a real cool cult following, and everybody has like a little riff and raps about it or whatever. But like here's like the only movie, it's never been done before, of any kind of character-based comic book movie that I can think of, where they had all of them in one movie, and we could all like come and watch it develop and like watch it happen. And I mean, the first fucking Spider-Man movie was what, 2002? And like you were 10, 11 years old, and you got to see it happen before your eyes, and now you're like reliving that whole thing. And it's just, it's
amazing.
just a big, nice butthole pleasure, and I was just all for it, man.
Yeah, and I ramped up into it because my sister she's like gotten into Marvel comics like as she's gotten into college and high school and stuff, but like she wasn't into it before. So like I'm catching her up on a lot of shit, and we just went back and I showed her all this, like the Tobey Maguire 3 and then Andrew Garfield 2. Yeah. And then she had seen the Tom Holland ones. So like she got fully caught up, and then perfect timing with this movie. They're all in it. Everyone knew they were going to be in it, but why did they try to keep it so hush hush? Like, I don't understand. I don't know.
I just think, especially in like, I don't know. It's always been a thing. When Tom Holland was first introduced to Spider-Man, there was a big rumor. It was the same thing in Captain America Civil War when he made his first appearance. There was kind of like that. Is he going to be introduced as Spider-Man? Because he was cast as Spider-Man during the making of that film, so we knew Tom Holland was going to be the MCU Spider-Man, but we didn't know when he was going to be introduced, and then it leaked that he was going to be in Civil War, and it was kind of the same thing. People were like asking him, and he's like, no, I'm not in the movie, and he ended up being it. But my favorite is just like the polar opposites of Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, because there was like, I don't know what it is about the Marvel community, or especially the Spider-Man community. They like go through ends of earth to like find out an answer, and they'll find it. They're like right all the time. So apparently, backtrack, Tobey Maguire was walking through, I think he lives in New York, and somebody saw him. And this was first rumored, I think it was like a year and a half ago during the pandemic, that he was going to be in the movie, that they were making this Spider-Man, the third Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, and that the plot was what we just saw, something like that. And so this guy came up to him and he's like, hey man, can you confirm it or anything like that? And Tommy just kept walking, gave him a wink, and then just like, you'll see it when you see it. And so it was like, oh dude, he's for sure in. And then, a couple months later, Andrew's getting interviewed, and he's just like, no, I'm not in it. It's Photoshop, blah, blah, blah. He's just like shooting the shit. So I went into the movie 99.9% they were going to be in it. No doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I just wasn't sure if it was going to be like in the movie as like the Spider-Mans that they are, or like if like Toby was going to be like Uncle Ben, or like they were going to work him in as like other people just to bring him into the universe or like into the movie.
Yeah.
I was pretty sure that's what they were going to do.
Like from what I read and like, YouTubers and all this shit, it was like they pretty much got it like right on. Like it was like 85% there. So
predicting the movie, you're saying?
Yeah, essentially. Not to like, we'll start from the beginning, but they got like pretty much the entire plot right, except for like the whole magic curse of spoiler alert, forgetting Peter Parker. That was, from what I understand, that was supposed to work from the get-go, and it did, and it worked at the end of the movie.
Wait. So you're saying that there's precedent in actual comic books for the story?
Not of this story, no, because
Okay.
it's because there's never been 3 Spider-Mans before like that. There's 2 technically. There's Miles and there's Peter Parker. And then there's like Gwen Stacy becomes Spider-Man and MJ has her own thing and shit like that. But the fact of like the main core characters,
Yeah.
there's only Miles, which is from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which is an amazing movie. If you guys haven't seen that, it's fucking probably one of the best comic book films of all time.
So when you
That
say they
itself.
got it right, you mean that they like connected the dots from the previous stories? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, so there was a lot of banter between all of the movies. So if you paid attention, there's like a lot of like they made fun of each other. Like Toby kept telling Andrew Garfield, "You're amazing, you're amazing." He's like, "I know, man. I just need to hear that," because his movie is The Amazing Spider-Man. And Toby, they're making fun of him because he's he didn't have any actual engineered web shooters. His web fluid came from his wrist, his actual body. So they're like, what the fuck? Because that was Sam Raimi, who was the director of those 3 films of Tobey Maguire. That was one of the discussions, apparently, is that do we make it like mechanical or do we make it like natural? And they went for the
What
natural
is it in
way.
the comics? What is...
It's both. It is, I think they first put it off, it is natural, but more in the advanced future of the different Peter Parkers, it is mostly mechanical, which is like an easier way to explain things. But, so, Al, do you want to take it off from the beginning? What are your feelings? When the Marvel fucking credits are coming down and they're explaining the end of the second movie, and you're like, oh my fucking God, I've been waiting 2 years for this movie.
I will say I'm surprised. I thought Mysterio would be alive somehow, like some way, somehow he would be that 6th member of the Sinister Six. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I love how they got it going, and like you're like, holy shit, like it's all going to hell.
They're having a crisis. They're not having a good time about people knowing that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and he's super fucking famous, and he's just trying to be a high school kid, and he's trying to get into college.
And he's also this like hole in between of is he a good guy or a bad guy kind of deal.
Everybody's filming him at school. Helicopters are hovering around where he lives. It's really intrusive. And then him and his friends don't get into MIT, and it's a heartbreak. So far, so good there. I thought the start was really good.
Yeah, so it's and like I said, to incorporate 3 different Spider-Man in one movie that's 2.5 hours, it's gotta be like really good writing. And not only really good writing, it has to make sense of the arc, has to make sense comic book based. It can't like flow too far where people are scratching their heads in both ways, where natural moviegoers are just confused and just in general, and then comic book moviegoers are like, that was a bit of reach. But yeah, the end of the second movie is how they start off. If you don't remember, the end of the second movie, Mysterio dies. He finally gets control of the Stark sunglasses that he was given to, takes control of the robot army, and basically ends Mysterio's kill rant, essentially. And then at the end of the movie, they bring back Homeboy from the Daily Bugle, Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
And
J.K. Simmons.
And that's a big thing because that kind of like included at least the Spider-Verse was coming to fruition. And I'm going to say the Spider-Verse a lot because the Spider-Verse is a little bit different than the MCU, which is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Spider-Verse, because Sony owns Spider-Man the character, and there are 3 of them, it is a little bit different than MCU. But all you got to understand right now is that Tom Holland is the Marvel Cinematic Universe Spider-Man for right now.
Also, the reporter for the Daily Bugle, they made him out to be Alex Jones, hardcore. It was hilarious.
Oh, you think so?
Did anyone else get that vibe?
No. Well, that's from the first couple Spider-Man movies. That was his character, though.
Oh, really?
He was Alex Jones before Alex Jones, bro. And he also had hair.
That's what it reminded me of. Also, shout out to Hannibal Buress. That was a cool cameo.
Dude, hilarious cameo.
If you paid attention, he's in those movies, Frank.
Why did he say Mysterio was right? What was Mysterio saying?
I think they were kind of banter off this whole like right versus left thing.
Right. But what was he saying? What
Well,
did Mysterio,
if
what
you
was
paid
the-
attention in the beginning, they kind of like rushed through it. At the end of the second movie, Mysterio was trying to like pretty much like take control and fuck everybody that did him wrong. But he knew that he had to fight Peter Parker off or kill him. But I guess in his back pocket, he had a backup plan. So essentially, he like recorded in this video, which he like cut and stuff to make it seem like Peter Parker was the person who was in control of those robots that did all that devastation.
Oh, so he thought. So
So he's like, if I'm
Spider-Man
gonna
was a
die,
murderer.
if I'm gonna die, I'm
Okay.
bringing you down with me. So that's why he made Spider-Man look like a murderer, a mass murderer. And then he gave out his name that he was Peter Parker.
End
Okay.
movie. That's how the last movie.
That's
ended.
literally, he
It's
goes, "What the
oh,
fuck?"
shit.
So pretty much they were running out of options. And then Tom Holland, Peter Parker, gets this idea of Doctor Strange because, you know, he fought with Doctor Strange in Infinity War and Endgame. So he's pretty much like, maybe he can help because he's a magician. So pretty much he goes there with an idea like, hey, you know, none of these people that are involved, like his Aunt May, Happy Hogan, his friends, none of these people that are involved, you know, deserve this stuff. They've lived a normal life. I'm the one, if anybody, who should be at fault. So if we could like do something about that, that'd be great. And then Doctor Strange is like, you know, I think I could do something. Like I think we can get like pretty much a memory erase spell to forget everybody that knows Peter Parker that is Spider-Man. So they go down in this dungeon. He's pretty much doing the spell. And Tom Holland's like, okay, like I'm down, super down. So he starts doing the spell. He's like, nobody will remember that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. So he's like, wait a minute, like I need to know. Like MJ has to know, Ned has to know, my Aunt May, like Happy. So essentially he's like trying to fuck with the spell while it's happening, and then the spell gets uncontrollable and it blashes out. And if you pay attention to that scene, you'll see that there's this dimension that they opened up. And the thing that's... this is the only thing that sucks about Marvel. It is so wide with their storytelling because of I'm not going to go deep into this or make excuses, but from like Avengers and the movie cinematic universe, and then you have these TV shows on Disney, it's kind of hard to like understand and really pick out every detail to understand like movies that are happening in the future. So this dimension has happened in Loki. This dimension kind of happened in the What If universe that's on Disney Plus. And if you guys, I highly recommend the Marvel Disney Pluses if you guys have time. People have plenty of time right now. So basically, they open this dimension, and shit gets out of hand. He contains it, and he has to contain it in this special magic box, essentially. Because he did that, apparently the curse reinverted. Pretty much everybody that knows Peter Parker knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man comes into this universe.
Huge detail for what's his name? Who's the wizard?
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. Giant detail for him to leave out conveniently right before he starts moving the spell. I thought that was horseshit. That's something you bring up before you're about to do a life-changing spell. He starts doing it, and then Peter Parker tells him to stop. That's what fucks the whole thing up. That's the premise for the entire movie.
What do you mean?
The foundation of the entire movie is that when Doctor Strange is doing a spell, Peter Parker keeps changing it, and it fucks up the whole spell.
Yeah.
The reason he's changing it is because he immediately understands that this isn't going to be like this pie in the sky idea he had of like things going back to the way they were. It was a concrete done deal. I think it was really convenient that Doctor Strange assumed that Spider-Man knew the consequences of what he was going to do.
No, yeah. I mean, I think Doctor Strange never did. I guess the bigger the spell, the bigger the consequences, and the more details.
They paint him out to be a really like smart dude.
Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
Well, Doctor Strange in the comic books is pretty much like Tony Stark. He's like one of the smartest people ever. He's one of the best neurologists, I believe. And he's smug. He's like cocky, like Tony Stark.
But I thought it was a big detail. He decided not to tell him about that until he was doing the spell.
He's like I said, I think he thought he was just cocky enough that he could just do the spell and he didn't have to worry about the consequences.
Here's my one question, my one critique about the whole movie, though, that I would have, that like plot hole to me. Obviously, when he starts doing the spell, he's able to adjust it so that certain people remember that he is still Spider-Man, because that's what he's trying to do. Like, it didn't get fucked up until like the 7th time he tried to tell that spell.
Yeah, if you see them, like every time he's, I don't know what these it explains, but every time he like does one, like a new ring develops.
Yes.
Like it's for like a person or a depiction of the spell or something like that.
So it is possible to make a spell where certain people would remember it. So my question is, at the end of the movie, when they end up doing it anyway, why couldn't he still have MJ and like the people that he fucked with like remember who he was?
Well, apparently we'll get back to that because I have a lot of critiques at the end. But apparently it was pretty much, they made it sound like it was like the only way. Like we got to like nobody or nothing at all. Like nobody remembers you or like shit's in the fan. People start coming out of the Spider-Verse. So people are coming out. Tom Holland's trying to capture them because Doctor Strange is like, hey, shit's hitting the fan. We need to put these back into their own universes because if anything, the multiverse is going to crash on itself. So they have a disagreement essentially that Tom Holland kind of wants to save these characters and Doctor Strange kind of wants to just put them back in their place.
Which was also lame as fuck. I hated that turn in the movie when they're like, "Hey, we can save the villains. Why don't we save them instead of sending them back? We've known them for all of 25 minutes. Instead of sending them back and doing the right thing, let's save them." Like I don't know. That totally fucked with me because there was nothing to like pull on your heartstrings. Like, oh, we should do it. All it was like a little conversation with Willem Defoe when he was all like not the Green Goblin. I don't know how that works with him, but like he wasn't the Green Goblin. So I don't know that whatever that conversation was during that time where he was with May and they were talking and he's like, we can't just send him back. He's still a person. Come on, man. We're going to fix these people. Didn't like that.
I think the part of the arc is that obviously everybody that knew Spider-Man that came in was going to die. Or some everybody had to meet their fate. So yeah, it tugged on Aunt May's heartstrings, and then Tom Holland's such a great guy as Spider-Man, as Peter Parker. He was just like, you're right, we got to fix these people. So obviously, it's a fan with that. You guys could go see the movie of all that, but I thought William Defoe stole the show. I honestly thought William Defoe was better in this movie than he was in the first Spider-Man. I thought they needed like the bad character because there wasn't really the bad guy because everybody kind of had their own agenda in that movie. But William Defoe, without a doubt, made a precedence of like, I'm the guy. I'm the fucking villain. And he killed Aunt May, which developed like the MCU actual story arc of like Peter Parker becomes Spider-Man because everybody knows in the Spider-Man arc of the comic book, great power has great responsibility, and that's Uncle Ben's famous line, and Uncle Ben dies right after that famous line.
I was going to say, as soon as she said that, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Everybody in the AMC movie theater fucking roared when she said it, dude. And we're in the lot, fucking crickets. I'm like, you don't that's a famous line, bro.
You know what I thought? I was like, wow, what a cheesy ass quote. I had no idea of the significance at all. None.
Right. I was surprised by her passing though. I did not expect that. I don't know why. When she said it, I was like, uh-oh.
It needed to happen for this arc.
I'll agree with that.
This whole movie, all it was about at the end of the day was about redemption.
Yeah.
RON.
What I will say I loved is when Ned and like they get the ability to do the portals, Ned and Zendaya, and dude, the way that they brought in Andrew Garfield and then Tobey Maguire was so cool. Where you think like you thought I knew it was going to happen in this movie, like I figured that these guys were going to be in it, but during that scene, I thought that was going to be Tom Holland. And then all of a sudden it turns around and you're like, oh, yes!
I fucking called it, dude. So we're watching it and he's like, I can think I can open a portal. She's like, oh, we need to find the Peter Parker. I go, babe, it's going to be Toby or it's going to be Andrew. And then I'm like, fucking, like I'm nudging her, and then they open the portal and I recognize the suit. I go, it's fucking Andrew. And then everybody sees the detail of his suit and the eyes, and everybody starts going roaring. And he steps in and he goes, wait. And you hear his voice and he takes off his mask and everybody's going crazy.
Yeah.
Like, fucking hells yeah, dude. And then the whole banter of like him sticking on the wall to make sure it's him, or like they're throwing the roll because his spidey sense. And they're like, hey, can you get
He does the one hand.
there?
He's like, it's enough.
And then Toby comes in and he's like, hey guys, how's it going? He's like all old and shit. I was just
I
like,
was kind of old.
God, dude.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Dude, it was so fucking cool.
Dude, it made me feel like a kid again. I swear to God, it made me feel like I don't know why. Like, I love movies have that. Some movies have that effect on you, but when you see them all together, it's like after Aunt May's dead, and they go and they take the other Peters to go see Tom
Peter
Holland
1, Peter
like,
2,
on the
Peter
roof.
3?
Yeah, but bro, when you saw like she's like, I got some people I want you to meet, and like it zooms up to the top of the building, and you just see them like perch. I'm like, yes,
fucking 3 Spider-Man, dude. But I like the way they introduced him with the sling, and I like that they introduced him to his friends first, and not just like introduce him out of nowhere, and like Tom Holland sees him as like, what the fuck. And I liked it how they explained, like how they took like 15 or 10 minutes to explain their relationship and how they are from different universes, but they're somewhat correlated. With the whole, Uncle Ben died, Aunt May died, the whole arc of Spider-Man, the whole revenge plot, how like Toby was like, I've been there, done that, doesn't make you a better person. And Andrew's like, yeah, like I've lost too. Like I lost Uncle Ben, I lost, my girlfriend Gwen Stacy, I wasn't able to save her and shit like that. So it's kind of cool. They're like in this bottom, and Tom Holland Spider-Man's in this like real low, and the Peter Parkers of the different universes kind of come to his aid and understand that like I've been there. Like, there's no reason it's not any different or anything like that. But I mean, just like, was it just me, or did you have a 10-inch hard cock when they were just swinging together off the Statue of Liberty, and then they both land and they do their Spider-Man poses? I was like, oh, fucking die. I could literally die. I literally walked out that theater and I was like, this movie was supposed to come out 2 years ago. I can finally fucking die. Let's fucking get it over.
That last scene when they're all swinging around the Statue of Liberty, dude, and all the villains are there, and like they're, obviously like the various ways they're trying to like defeat them by saving them. Which, now that I think about it, back on it, Frank, I feel you what you're saying. Like, that is lame. Like, send them back. We could have avoided all this bullshit. But
it's the only way the story arc in the movie works,
No, I know.
They could have just pressed the button,
Yeah.
As lame as that was, I will say that like whatever trend has been going on for a while of just like pure like unfiltered doses of nostalgia is kind of annoying, but I thought it was really clever the way that they brought old characters back. It wasn't like a rehash. It was actually a very new, unique idea that had like some sort of like grounded purpose in bringing these characters back, other than just for the sake of bringing them back.
Yeah.
I think Star Wars did a terrible job of bringing characters back.
Yeah.
Like there's other, but this was actually a really, really clever way of doing it. I thought that was cool, and it kind of made it fresh while also allowing for this love fest you guys are having over here with swinging men.
Dude, swinging men all over my face. Especially the fact that the banter with like, they're just like trying to get to know each other, like understanding that Tobey Maguire shoots webs out of his wrist, and they're like, do you shoot it out of anywhere else? And everyone's like, Mary Jane's getting some crazy ass cream pies. Let's hear it. Fucking webs all over her face, dude.
I will say this though, it is the only Marvel movie that has ever, I don't even want to say choke me up, but like kind of choke me up a little bit, bro. Like, and maybe it's something to do with like having a kid. So I don't know. Maybe like a switch got flipped or some shit.
You got
bro.
a softie on me.
We get it, bro. You had a kid. You're a dad. We understand it. There's no.
The scene I'm about to talk about, Mike. It's fucking dude. When Andrew Garfield catches MJ off the ledge and saves her and like has that redemption moment, bro. And then that banter that they have to each other.
Yeah, because he's just like dead crying, and she's like, "You okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I think so."
Yeah,
Everybody was like so distraught about it.
Oh man, bro.
So that was one of the things that was supposed to that leaked that somehow Mary Jane was gonna fall off and he was going to save her.
But like you said, redemption, like that he's the Spider-Man that I feel like has had the like most bad shit happen to him too out of all of them.
His movies are so emo, it's crazy.
Yeah, they are. But dude, watching them back, man, I honestly think I like the Amazing series like as movies better than the original Spider-Man movies to me.
Really?
Like they have the nostalgia to me. They have Spider-Man 3 is a flaming pile of garbage, bro. I'm sorry. They did
it's a piece of shit.
All that so wrong. They did Venom so wrong.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
So like I honestly think as movies, and my sister agreed. She's like, wow, I really had heard like a lot of people saying like Tobey Maguire was the OG. He's the man. And I love Tobey's Spider-Man, but watching it back now, like this last week, he was like kind of weird too, like kind of creepy and weird and like just awkward.
He was weird.
Yeah, and it's
I feel like that's just Tobey as a person of like that Sam Raimi,
True.
like what I say is gonna level you kind of deal.
But then I feel like Garfield was more believable, and then now Tom Holland's like the perfect Spider-Man to me, like as far as quirky character kind of a person. But I think it got better.
100%. I think Tom Holland's like the best because it's like more believable. Like he literally looks like a fucking teenager,
right?
Like, and he plays that character. Oh my god! Oh, you know. Like that banter and shit.
Mr. J.
Ned. Yeah, he plays it so well. But I will say that Andrew Garfield looks the most comfortable in that suit. He just looks like he belongs in that Spider-Man suit.
I could definitely see that.
The whole like banter of just like, you know, he's like Peter 1, Peter 2. He's like Peter 3. He's like, just like, yeah, you know, that's me. Or the whole like, I don't know if you know this, not trying to go deep into it, but the whole, I think this is funny because I read into it. The whole backcracking moment of Andrew and Tobey. Apparently in the first movie, after the fact, he filmed Seabiscuit, and I guess he wasn't really signed on for the trifecta. They had to work out the deal. And apparently part of the deal was that he didn't really want to do any stunts, and he kept complaining about his back, trying to make this deal even more heavy for payment. So apparently they brought Jake Gyllenhaal, and Jake Gyllenhaal was supposed to be the next Spider-Man, and like whole thing happened. But end of the day, Tobey Maguire kept being Spider-Man 2, which is probably like one of the best Spider-Man movies. A lot of people have that in their top. But in the second movie, it was written in there by Sam Raimi and his brother because they wanted to kind of like acknowledge that Tobey was making fun of himself with the whole back thing. So that was like the whole like kind of inside joke of the whole back cracking moment, which I thought was kind of funny. Yeah,
they're bannered together. Like they fucking should make another movie with these three, dude. And like that's them together the whole time because they were so cool together. Like same but different, and like just
because you had Tobey as like the kind of like blah older like role model. You had Andrew still as like his kind of quirky self, kind of fit in, kind of like blended everything because it seemed like Tobey was kind of like the father figure, and this was obviously Tom Holland's universe, and they kind of had to do something with Andrew with kind of making him like quirky and funny. But I thought they did a really good job. My honestly only complaint of that entire movie, of just like plain as day, is the fact that they made cures in a high school chemistry class.
Yeah, that was lame as fuck.
That's like we're making cures. We're making cures for a fucking giant lizard in a chemistry class.
That scene was so lame. They're just all there in their chemistry kits, like, let's do it, guys. We're gonna make them.
I mean, it was cute, though. Like, you know, they're like, Peter, yeah, no, Peter Parker, yeah. Oh, you mean him? They're like, yeah, it's fucking hilarious. But so many questions. So apparently, Sony is planning on a Spider-Man 3 with Andrew Garfield. Apparently, they want him back to make a third film.
Nice.
It was supposed to be planned to do a trifecta, but the second one kind of flopped, and they kind of scratch. So I'm curious if they want to do a third one. And obviously Frank stayed for the end of the scenes. You know, Frank, you know, diehard Marvel character, Marvel fan. He stayed put.
I stayed for one.
Stayed put. What'd you stay for? What was that Andy scene, Frank? You were
apparently Venom. I don't know who that guy was. He was drinking a beer with the forward from Ted Lasso.
I am the League of Shadows. Maybe he's wondering why you shoot a man before throwing him out the plane.
I'm very excited for the new Batman movie, but that's a whole different podcast. So excited for that movie.
Cedric Diggory? Yeah, let's do it.
I'm so excited.
So, Venom, is he in the MCU? I don't know. I think if Andrew comes back for a third film, I think he has to fight Tom Hardy because Tom Hardy's already in the Spider-Verse as Venom. I do think that obviously a piece came off of Tom Hardy before he went back to his home. So I do think he's in the MCU. I don't know.
So the symbiote is what left him. So like, I don't know if Tom Hardy's Venom is in Tom Holland and Marvel movies going forward, like in that universe. Like maybe they'll bring him into Andrew Garfield's, like you're saying, but because that's like all Sony run. But I think what happened is like since that symbiote got left there, that little piece or whatever is going to go find whoever in the MCU and make them Venom, and then they'll have their own Venom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's the most likely.
Who do you think the sixth Sinister is, though?
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. I thought it was going to be Mysterio some fucking how, but that didn't happen. I think it's Venom. It's got to be Venom. That's why I think that cutscene.
I think it's the easy way out. I was thinking maybe it might have been. Some people were thinking that it's actually Mysterio pretending he's Doctor Strange. He's like warping the whole reality to like the other Mysterios warping this reality to get back at Tom Holland. But I was like, that's like way too like. Too deep.
Well, I read that Ned was going to become Hobgoblin, and then he would become the sixth.
I read that too because that is in the arc, but that might be in the future. He might have to fight him because he doesn't know him now, so there's no relationship. Or
they squashed that rumor with the banter that they put in the movie because they kind of like made a joke out of it when he asked him in the lab, like, "Did you ever have a best friend?" He's like, "Yeah, he turned evil and tried to, so I had to kill him."
Goes all awkward.
Yeah. So then he goes to Tom Holland and he's like, "Just so you know, I will never try to kill you or turn bad or whatever." So I don't know if that was like foreshadowing for him actually become Hobgoblin or if it was like, hey, that's a dumbass rumor. That's not what's going to happen. I couldn't tell what they were trying to do there.
Yeah, there was also rumors that it was supposed to be Morbius coming to like introduce because he's coming in the movie.
Leto.
I cannot wait for that Morbius movie. Have you seen the trailer?
Trailer looks great. I don't know a ton about Morbius though, to be honest with you, as like a series. So
super naughty. I don't know anything about him either, other than he's a vampire. But there will be a Blade and Morbius crossover, and that will be fucking sick. Yeah, a lot of people forget, dude. They say Black Panther was the first Black Marvel universe, not Blade, dude. Wesley Snipes, give him props, dude. Those movies were fucking sick.
Dude, I just saw him in a show me and Frank kind of watched together called True Story. It's a Kevin Hart show. And Wesley Snipes is his brother. It's actually really good, dude. It's really good. Best thing I've ever seen Kevin Hart in.
I saw that Dolomite movie that Eddie Murphy did, and he has Wesley Snipes as like a director. Wesley Snipes is really good in that movie. Like he can act.
He didn't look as much like Wesley in this movie, which was kind of weird. It's like, oh, that's Wesley. Oh, shit. But no, or not movie, but it's a short limited series. Really good.
So it's pretty good?
Watch it.
I should watch it?
Watch it. No, yeah, for sure.
Should I watch
Frank
it
liked it a lot
shirtless?
too. No, you keep your shirt on.
No.
Succession, take your shirt off. It's not as good as Succession.
Well, I feel like every HBO, they bring out some heavy, loaded, battered shows, bro.
Good writers. Really good writing.
HBO just slaps it on. I don't know what Netflix is doing over there. I don't know if they're all about clicks, because regardless, people see a new Netflix show or something on the fucking preview and they're like, oh, I'll watch this, nothing else to do, and they just click on it. But like, there's like, when's the last good Netflix show? Like, when was the last?
I mean, solid? Ozark is
Ozark was solid. Ozark was solid. I feel like that last season, I don't know what they're doing now. Stranger Things was great, but they're like, is there going to be a next season?
That shit fell off to me.
Dude, it fell off. Not only did it fall off the last season, but it took them like 4 years to make another one. I'm like, that's not how relevance works, dog.
Millie Bobby Brown's going to be like 25 now, playing like a 17-year-old.
To this day, I think like for the period of time, AMC, they had Breaking Bad, they had fucking Walking Dead. Like, they
when it was good,
owned the network. That's when I was like, oh shit, like HBO isn't the only place that actually does good shows.
It's true.
It could actually be these random networks.
I found another show. It's an older show from like 2018, but it's on HBO. It's called The Other Two. Have you ever heard of this?
The Other Two?
Yeah.
No.
Never heard of it? Dude, it's hilarious. It's about so like the main thing is like this kid, Chase Dubeck, I think his name is, but he goes by the name Chase Dreams. He's like this like 13-year-old kid that like writes a pop song, gets super famous, gets super fucking rich at a really young age, and it, like the show is about the other two siblings, which are like his older brother and sister, who are like more like kind of like fuck ups a little bit, or like just struggling, not as successful as him, obviously. And dude, it's really funny. It like surprised me. I was like, "Oh damn, this is really well written." And it's the fucking dude that wrote Saturday Night Live. That's who made it.
As in John Travolta?
No, that's Saturday Night Fever, isn't it?
Fever. Yeah. You didn't have a fever that night?
No, it's the producer, the guy that fucking makes Saturday Night Live. What's his name?
Oh, you're talking about the old guy, Lloyd Laird. Liza Minnelli?
Did you say Laird?
Laird?
Oh, what the fuck? Hold on. I gotta look up his name.
Lauren Michaels.
Lauren Michaels.
Told you, bitch. Making fun of my elf, motherfucker.
I usually edit out the parts where we have to like try to find a name or look something up, but I'm keeping it in there for the evolution of the name that you just figured out.
Laura. You know, what did we do in the 90s, bro? We didn't have fucking smartphones. We got to figure that shit out. That's what I tell people
in
all
the
the
90s,
time.
we went mom, dad.
Yeah.
Who's
we're
that
like,
guy?
Who's that one guy in the Schmitty, Schmally? Just like fucking Dumb and Dumber. Not even close.
Okay, but back to this movie. I heard that originally Toby was supposed to die when he gets stabbed at the end by Green Goblin, but there's rumors that they're interested in bringing him back for another movie and doing something.
This is true.
Something
There's
else
also
with him.
many, a lot of people like I said, Marvel Universe fans will nitpick. I feel like, you know, like not to backtrack, but I feel like as a director or as a writer, when you pick up these films, it is so hard to fucking please everybody. It's almost impossible. Like Endgame.
Absolutely.
Like a lot of people obviously love that movie, but a lot of outsiders like, that shit's lame. And I was like, bro, you need to understand that they had like 50 fucking characters that they have to include in this movie and somehow make it like really good. And I mean, show me somebody who can do it better. Yeah, I think they did it great. Same thing with the Spider-Man movie. But the thing with the Toby, him getting stabbed, like, obviously he is the reason why Goblin died, because he missed the jet and it crashed into him. And I love that a lot, if you didn't pay attention, I love that a lot of what the Green Goblin said was from the first movie. Like, I'm much of a scientist myself. I don't know if you know this, but I'm much of a scientist myself. He says that, and then he says, Peter, what have I done? That was at the end when he gets stabbed. But that was part of the redemption.
Damn, I didn't notice that. Now that you say that, I didn't notice that.
That was part of the redemption, was that Tom Holland really wanted to fucking kill this guy, of course, like any natural human being, of killing your aunt, and not only killing your aunt, but really rubbing your face in that shit, like really trying to get him to school. Yeah,
like the woman that raised him.
And I just love that fight scene when he's just like laughing, like the fucking like bewildered crazy guy. But Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker stops him, and he's just like looking at him like, no, like, can't do this, like we know better. And then he gets stabbed in the back. But my thing is, like, shouldn't his spidey sense tingle? You know, we're talking about tingle half this movie. Shouldn't it tingle a little bit? Like,
that's true.
This motherfucker's gonna stab you, dude. You know he's gonna stab you.
That's true.
I'm when he got stabbed, I was like, damn, they're gonna kill him off. I thought they were going to kill both off. And I was like, man, that's fucking lame. That's so lame to just introduce him and then just take him away. But
they didn't.
Yeah, they didn't.
He's alive.
They got everything back. And then another issue I had with the movie is that, like, Flash is supposed to be, like, you know, the worthy adversary in, like, the comics. And then he makes a book about being Peter Parker's best friend, who is Spider-Man. And then when the whole magician, does the spell. So does that book not exist? Like what's inside the book? Does the book not exist? What about academic records? Are they just, wiped off? We just don't know who Peter is. And another thing that bothered me, because at the end of the movie, so you see him slap down the GED book, right? So pretty much he's like a high school dropout. But his friends, Ned and MJ, got into MIT. But wouldn't that mean he would also get into MIT? Because if everybody forgot his turmoil, and he's also like one of the smartest kids in the fucking world, wouldn't he also just get into MIT? That's why I didn't understand. I don't know if he just like chose not to go, just kind of like leave that life behind, because when he went to the bakery and he saw kind of like his friends are better off without him, kind of deal. I didn't really understand that.
Well, I think because the spell was everyone forgot who Peter Parker was. It wasn't at the beginning.
As Spider-Man.
The spell, well, I think at the beginning the spell was as Spider-Man, but at the end, like, because if not, MJ and Ned would have still noticed Peter as Peter. They just wouldn't have known he was Spider-Man. But at the end, they had no idea who he was.
That is true.
So I think at the end, I guess that kind of answers my doubt about like the why couldn't he have just written the spell, blah 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 blah, because they had to completely wipe out Spider-Man as a person from everybody's mind in order to save the multiverse.
Yeah, I mean, okay. And then did you obviously you stayed to the Doctor Strange trailer?
Yeah, that was cool to see like a trailer. They did that once before for like Avengers or something, I feel like.
Yeah, and then you see Evil Strange.
Yeah,
that's going to be interesting. I'm curious what the hell that's going to... I mean, the multiverse, I feel like Doctor Strange's multiverse is going to be like Captain America Civil War, where it's going to like really depict where the Marvel franchise is going from here on out. Like what it means in the general plot of things of Phase 5.
Do you think we're going to see like other evil good guys?
I don't think so. There might be a lot of like what if scenarios if that's the case, because that's a whole like I think What If is like such a fun comic, because I don't know, it's just like fun, like what if things would happen differently, like in the show. And one of the things is that Evil Strange does happen, so I'm curious to see if they follow that kind of whole thing where, because it shows him walking down the aisle and getting married to Rachel McAdams and being happy. So I'm curious if like evil Doctor Strange kind of disrupts that, or if the main antagonist of the movie, who was in the first Doctor Strange, I don't know if he pulls him from another dimension to kind of like get even, because he kind of has this whole backstory of dark magic or whatever. So
who's that, Dormammu or whatever?
Yeah, Dormammu was like the god of dark energy or whatever. But I'm curious to see how Scarlet Witch happens, because I mean, let's be honest, bro. Nobody can fuck with Scarlet Witch, dog. Nobody can fuck with her.
Magneto.
Nobody can fuck with Scarlet Witch. Magneto, maybe, if he has metal. But even then, like maybe Professor X, like maybe Dark Phoenix. Like there's only a handful of MCU characters that are stronger than her. So I'm curious to see that what she can't handle, especially now the fact that she's like the ultimate interdimensional being.
Yeah, I feel like bad Doctor Strange is going to show her that she can like get her kids back, and that she's going to go crazy that way. Yeah. And like be on his team, then they're going to fight both of them.
Yeah, I'm curious, like King the Conqueror and everything. I'm excited. I am so excited that ever since 2005, when the first Iron Man came out, you know, we had this whole series. We've grown into this as young, pretty much kids. And now we're adults, and then we're keep going with this whole phase, with this whole like MCU. I think it's fucking sick, dude. It's like something to look forward to. It's like that instance, like for the Harry Potter fans or for like the Lord of the Ring fans, where that shit ends and you're just like bummed. You're like, fuck, man. Like I want it to continue. This is exactly what this is. Like it will never end.
It's never ending.
It's never gonna fucking end. There's always gonna be continuing. And if anything, there might be like some like alternate universe where they can flash in an old Tony Stark or some shit like that.
That'll be sick. The day that Tony Stark comes back, you know it's gonna happen.
That's a nice shirt, by the way.
Thank you. I bleached it myself.
You know they're making another movie?
Animated or live action?
Of course animated, bro. Why are they making live action? That shit was stupid.
We're talking about Dragon Ball Z. You know who played Goku?
I mean, he's the voiceover for the American?
No, I'm saying in the live action movie.
Oh, yeah, he's the dude from World at War. I don't know his name, but he had one point in time where he was famous. He was in World at War. He was the kid.
It's the dude from Shameless.
I haven't seen that. I heard that show's good. I saw a couple episodes. They were funny, but that's not HBO. That's Cinemax.
Showtime. That's a good show, though. You can watch that on Netflix. Netflix has it now. I just finished that series, but back to like comic book world. At what point, because this is phase 5, right? Now officially,
we would be entering it. Yes,
this is my guess at least, and I want to get your take on what you think they'll do. But I think phase 5 is going to end somehow. I mean, obviously they're bringing Fantastic Four in, but I think it's going to end bringing in the X-Men, and I think phase 6 is going to be like X-Men into the MCU universe.
Yeah, and that's like a big question. How are they going to introduce them, especially now that the multiverse is for sure in the MCU? It's pretty much fucking open playing field.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, is Hugh Jackman going to come back as Logan, as Wolverine?
I hope not, man.
Because the thing is like, if you do it with one character, you kind of need to do it to all of them. Kind of thing. That's my opinion.
But he died though. He already had his movie.
He definitely died, and I fucking cried when he died. Dude, that's all.
I don't know, man.
Bro, you give me Johnny Cash Hurt. I don't care if I'm in the happiest mood. That song is just so fucking real and raw and sad.
He stole that song from Nine Inch Nails. Even Trent Reznor was like, "That's Johnny Cash's song now." This is fucking 100%. Great.
There are covers that are just 10 times better than the original. We just have to admit that. Such as
obviously
what?
The next one that comes to mind to me would be Free Fallin' by John Mayer. I mean,
is there any other artists? I don't even know what's the original. Elvis Presley?
I don't even.
Who sang that?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter,
right?
honestly.
Could have been some
Frank's not here to defend Tom Petty right now. He's pissed. Frank's power strip died, everyone. He blew
There's a
power
good
breaker.
Girl loves her mama. Yeah, come on. Give me some heart. You get John Mayer.
Yeah, he fucking murders that, man.
Want to leave this world for a while.
My hopes though, like I'm cool if Hugh comes back for like a second or whatever, does like an a Tobey Maguire type appearance, in the next thing, just as like a tip of the hat. But it's time for a new Wolverine, bro. Hugh Jackman
100%.
was fucking perfect, but it's time we get somebody new
just
to like
for like
keep the character going. Dude. Yeah, because he's like my favorite comic book character, him and Batman. So it's 100%. Like I need Wolverine.
Speaking of kids, not to put some attention on yourself because it's not like you have a kid or anything. No. But Logan is always been a fan favorite of mine for kid names. I think, although it's too aggressive of a name.
I love the name. I was
Logan sounds like at 14 he smokes a pack of cigarettes a day.
I guess. I don't know. That was one of the names I pitched to Sarah. What do you think about the name Leonardo?
Leonardo da Vinci?
Or the Ninja Turtle?
Yeah.
Or DiCaprio.
I mean, if you're going to do that, you got to have 4 kids and you got to do the whole thing. If you're going to do it, you got to do it right.
Oh, wow.
Michelangelo, Leonardo, Raphael, Donatello, you got to do it,
Michelangelo is my personal favorite. Team.
Why? Because he's the comedy fucking...
Not as a turtle.
Not as a turtle?
I'm saying as the artists, the artistes they're named after. Michelangelo is my favorite.
Sorry to not fucking get that out of fucking Ninja Turtles. Sorry. Thought we were talking about turtles. He's my favorite.
Who's your favorite?
I love
little
the
rascal?
orange. I love the orange on him. Yeah, but I couldn't tell you, what the next MCU phase is going to be, but I'm morally excited. And I want everybody to go watch Spider-Man 3 because if you're somewhat our age or even best, like even if you're a young age, like you could easily go back, watch Tobey Maguire, watch those back Spider-Mans, and then see him in this movie and be like, damn, dude, they did this shit. Like they brought the Spider-Man back. Spider-Men. And they're gender neutral. Even better.
I thought it was really well done, dude. I like I said, I think it's a top 5 superhero movie to me. I thought it was great. I was scared because they could definitely fuck that up. Dude. That'd be easy to fuck it up.
So nervous. I was so nervous. Yeah. I was just hoping, from what the leaks, I was just hoping they stayed that course and like it was true. Like I said, I knew for sure Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield were going to be in this movie, but I just didn't know how. But yeah, I mean, it was well done. I mean, you got to think about it. It's not just some fucking movie. I mean, any Joe Schmo can go and watch it and be entertained for sure, and maybe not understand it. It's kind of hard to not see the old movies and really understand the full aspect of the new movie, which is why I told
That's
Frank
what Frank
to watch
was at a little bit. I feel
yeah,
like.
I told him watch all the Spider-Man movies. Want to watch, I try to
just got to be cultured. You got to be cultured in superheroes. Some people aren't.
Gabagoo. You can't teach. You can't teach these guys. These fucking guys.
But I respect him for going, because he's always been a superhero hater, and he surprised the shit out of me when he went. So
I want to say superhero hater, just like sci-fi in general. Anything that's like fantasy depicted, it's not. But Ladder 49, man. If there were 50 of them, no. 48, fuck that. Even numbers, go fuck yourself. But 49,
that's where they get you.
He said 7 times 7. I'm there. Must be his favorite number.
Simple math, baby.
Yeah, simple math.
Well, shout out real quick, sponsor, Gun Barrel Coffee. You guys know the pitch. They have 14 different blends and roasts, which you can get in whole bean ground or single serve pods, and they donate $1 from every single item purchased to veterans and first responder charities. You can use the promo code FNH10. You'll save 10% at checkout when you buy their products at gunbarrelcoffee.com. That's promo code FNH10. Gun Barrel Coffee, damn good coffee, damn good cause. As always, you can find our shit on the interwebs, on Instagram and on TikTok at Friendship News Hour, and on Twitter at FriendshipNH. You can always write us at email at bummerdude.media@gmail.com. We'll definitely get back to you. Overall, Mike, Mr. Rager, what would you say out of 10? Spider-Man, No Way Home. How would you rank it?
9.6. Infinity War was a 9.7. Endgame was a 9.4.
So is this the third best to you? Is that what you're saying to me?
No. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is up there just because it was the first to do it. And the way they made it and the graphics and everything, that shit is crazy. But I feel like it's like as a motion picture.
I've actually never seen it, so I need to.
Oh, dude, it's so good. Dude, soundtrack-wise, you're a big movie soundtrack guy?
Big
Talk about
soundtrack
Black
guy.
Panther stuff? Dude.
Yeah. I know that one song.
This soundtrack actually...
The Post Malone song. Sway Lee. Yeah, that's a good song.
Sunflower, best. It's probably one of the best songs to any, like, Marvel arc, to be honest.
I don't know, and maybe this will make me sound foolish, but I still think my favorite superhero movie of all time, even though I think Endgame was executed as well as it fucking could have been and was like fucking great, it'll always be The Dark Knight to me, dude. I fucking love that movie so much, man.
Suck a dick.
It'll always be my favorite.
Is strongly character based, so of course it's going to be the best. And what's the whole death thing too? Like, he died, and the fact that you can't play him again.
But I just based off the performance, I guess that's not a factor to me as far as the movie goes, though. Like, it could be a nostalgia thing for me, but I think that movie is just fucking fantastic, and the way they do like Two-Face and I don't know, I love that movie just as a movie.
I'll be this is a popular opinion in the underworld of the Batman universe.
Yeah.
But as good as that movie was, it was just a good movie in general. But I will say, I thought Bane was a more worthy adversary of Batman.
I wish we could have seen Ledger live, because I think they were supposed to team up in that movie, or I don't know. I think that would have been a really fucking cool movie with Joker and Bane. We'll never know.
You think darkness is your ally? I was born in the dark, molded by it. I didn't see light before I was a boy.
By far the best Batman series. Best Batman series for sure. Christian Bale, Christopher Nolan. Dude, that fucking series is great.
Where are they?
No, I know his voice is weird, but I already said this, but dude, the new Batman movie, it comes out March next year. We are definitely doing one for that. I don't go fuck
we
what
can
you
end
say.
it on it. I will be honest. The cinematography looks crazy. It looks fucking sick.
Yes.
I will say the upside down shot of him walking.
Yes, with Penguin.
cock's hard. My cock's hard. I'm there. And the fact Colin Farrell is a penguin, you don't even recognize him. I'm like trying to like see him. I'm like, Jesus, that's how you know this movie's gonna be good. But you know, Cedric Diggory, you know, he died against Voldemort like a little bitch. So I got my own kind of things towards.
It's a different universe, though.
Robert Pattinson, he was also Edward. Don't you fucking forget it. He's been in 3. Yeah. He's a cinematic whore. That's what he is.
He is. But I think he's going to do it justice. I'm very excited to see how he portrays it.
I hope. Did you hear what the director said his character is based off of? And I'm already annoyed.
Who, Batman's character?
Yes. What, like...
Pattinson, his approach?
It's fucking... Who's the guy who blew his head off with a shotgun again?
Kurt Cobain?
Yeah, that's what he depicted that character off of.
Okay. I'm here for it. I fuck with Kurt Cobain.
So is he going to kill himself? Maybe. I don't know.
Probably not, but I think he's going to do a great job. And there's rumors that we're going to see the Joker in this movie. And if that happens, I'm going to lose my shit.
It's too much, man. Just let it like... So what, like, if they do a Batman universe, is there going to be like 17 of these motherfuckers like coming out? I guess. I'm not against it. I really want to see it. Like, how can they do this? Show me.
Have Jack Nicholson come back, old school fucking grandpa Joker.
How are they gonna do? You probably CGI fucking Heath Ledger. I'm game. Michael Keaton coming back as Batman.
He is doing that. Yeah. All right. Fuck. Until next time, my friend Mr. Ager, thank you for joining us. This is the Friendship News Hour, and we will see you guys next time.